Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the Prime Minister of the Biafra Republic Government in Exile, His Excellency Ekpa Simon Njaku. Thank you.
Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, Biafrans, Jewish people around the world. I welcome every one of you, journalists, media representatives. I can see some media, I can see some journalists here. I welcome every one of you. Ladies and gentlemen, the press, lovers and friends of Biafrans, and of course, friends of Israel. I welcome every one of you. Today we have seen another barbarism, terrorism, and of course, planned extermination of the Jews and Israel, the people of Israel. And from the history, we will never abandon the people of Israel. We will always stand with Israel, not just standing with Israel, but as we stand for Israel, we stand for ourselves. What our ancestors, forefathers, and of course, our parents did for decades, centuries ago, we have come to continue in the path of truth, and nothing but truth. The people of God, we can never ever be threatened or subdued to abandon our faith, belief, and origin. We will never succumb to threat, never succumb to terrorism. We will never abandon whom we are in order to please few people. We will also never work against our own. Israel, no matter the predicament Israel is going through today, they remain part of us. And I'm here not just to uphold the true identity of the Biafra people, not just to follow the footsteps of our ancestors, but to make sure that history will remember us in due time. We have seen the paradigm shift after the recent attack against Israel on the 7th of October, the terrorist attack. And that terrorist attack, whoever supporting evil, not just evil, but supporting terrorism. It was a pure terrorist attack on Israel, killing innocent women and children. And there you see countries like Nigeria aiding and supporting Hamas for that terrorist attack on the 7th of October. I am not here to defend Israel on the right of Palestine to self-determination, on the right of Palestine to independent or whatever, but I'm here to stand with Israel and condemn the terrorist attack on Israel. It can never ever be accepted. It is unacceptable. Killing children, abducting women, raping them, butchering them in the street of Israel, as we witnessed on the 7th of October, to go down in the history, and those who support this evil will never have peace in their various countries. Mark it. Today, they are planning attack on Israel in Nigeria. You know, one thing about this whole politics, evil politics going around in the world today, is that many people lack information. People don't actually know what is going on around them. Like many do not understand there is something called Israel in Nigeria. And when you make a post calling the attention on Israel in Nigeria, many people will be asking you, which one is Israel in Nigeria again? There is a serious planned attack against Israelis in Nigeria. The Israel ambassador, the Israeli embassy is under serious threat. Their life remain in imminent danger. And of course, the reason we are making this public is because whenever we expose the terrorist government of Nigeria, they will always go into panicking, and that will also truncate the plan to execute the terrorist attack against Israel in Nigeria. By this singular exposition, their camp is already in disarray because they do not know where this information and intelligence is leaking from. So the planned attack, we have actually somehow truncated it. But that does not mean that they're not going to plan and they're not going to re-strategize and come back again. We are just making this particular space today to call the attention of Israel in Nigeria and assure them that so long as we exist in Biafra land, there is a safe place for them to be evacuated to immediately if there is any attack against them in Abuja. Biafra land, the old eastern Nigeria, that is a safe place for them. We will evacuate them from Abuja within 4 hours of notice. Do not take this particular intel for granted, because it will happen. We may not be able to get the second intel when they plan the second attack, but this particular first attack, believe me, the exposition may have destroyed their intention and the intent to commit terrorism against Israel in Nigeria. And for those who don't know history, this is not the first time Nigeria government and Nigeria state are attacking people inside Nigeria on the issue of Israel and Palestine. This is not the first time. There is a history of terrorist attack whenever the conflict in the Middle East escalate. The people, the Biafrans in the northern Nigeria, have always made to pay the price of what is happening between Israel and Palestine. So when I come here to speak, I am speaking to maintain the integrity, the trust of the ancestors of the Biafra people. They have killed enough Biafrans in Nigeria whenever Israel and Palestine conflict escalate. And I want to inform all of us today that since the history of killings of Biafrans in the northern Nigeria, this year or this particular conflict is the only one in the history where the Biafra has not been attacked and their businesses destroyed in the northern Nigeria. We are not going to deny who we are. And that is why it is very imperative for people to understand we can never be in one country, because they see us as the Jews. And we are the Jews. We're not denying being the Jews. And that's why we can never be part of an entity like Nigeria. And today, they use gun and the barrel of gun to force us into being one country. The message I have come to pass across to Nigeria, the terrorist state of Nigeria today, is that if any Biafra is killed this time around in the northern Nigeria, in the name of Israel is fighting Palestine, or in the name of Iran has launched attack in Israel, and any Biafra is killed in the northern Nigeria, or their businesses destroyed, and people butchered as usual, they normally do, we will cut Nigeria into two. Those who understand what I mean know what I mean. We will cut Nigeria into two to start with. And those that will be in the side of the southern Nigeria will be made to face the music. This is not the time. You use what is happening in the Middle East to kill us in the northern Nigeria. We will continue to stand with Israel. The Jews are us, and we are the Jews. We become an inseparable, and because we find ourselves in amalgamation of Nigeria, will not make us to deny who we are. A lot of people will say that Israel doesn't need help. We have made it very open. We will offer the Israeli government, when the war goes to the ground troop, needing the ground troop, we will offer 15,000 men to Israel. The Biafra government is ready. We know that the war is still going on with the rockets and all that. But whenever it gets to the ground troop, when ground troop is needed, Biafra will provide 15,000 men to support Israel. A lot of people will say, you protect yourself first. We are protecting ourselves. Are you not seeing it? Have you not seen how we protect ourselves? Have you not seen that for the very first time in the history of the Islamic State of Nigeria, the people shouting for Biafra is being declared wanted? Tag the terrorist? Have you not seen it? It means that we are fighting and also protecting ourselves. It is not easy for them to kill like they usually do. So they have seen that the new generation of Biafra are those you don't mess around with. So do not worry. If you are not a Biafran and worried about us promising 15,000 men to Israel when the time comes for the ground troop, don't worry about us. Worry about yourselves, who is being butchered in your various localities in Nigeria. Worry about yourself, whom your people are living in IDP camp in the Middle Belt, in the northern Nigeria, in the southwest. Don't worry about us. We are not in IDP camp. For the fact that Biafrans are not living in IDP camp means that we are protecting and defending ourselves very well. And today, we can boast of over 130,000 men of the Biafra Liberation Army, the Biafra Resistance Fighters. All we lack is more weapons. That's all. We will overrun Nigeria when the time comes. So do not worry about the pronouncement of 15,000 men to Israel when the time comes. The reason you have not seen the heavy impact of the Biafra forces is something that I will not share here. So if you hear us making this pronouncement, do not worry about us, especially if you are not a Biafran. Worry about your region, worry about your state, worry about your people that have been displaced by Nigeria-sponsored terrorism, that have been displaced by all the terrorists that have invaded Nigeria, and your only concern is what Biafrans are doing and how they are fighting their freedom. We are people of God, people that have covenant with God. God of Israel, God of Moses, God of Elijah. These are the people we are. So you cannot believe what we believe in. We have different belief. we have different religion. The covenant of God remains the covenant of God. So do not worry about us. Worry about yourselves that have been subjugated, subdued by the Nigeria terrorism. You have been subdued by the terrorist state. You have been subdued by the terrorism of the Nigeria state. You have been subdued by the terrorist organization called Nigeria Army, Nigeria Police, and all other Nigeria security agents. They are all terrorists. You have been subdued by them. So you don't have the right to even ask questions. You don't have the right to protest. If you don't like anything they are doing, you will get killed. So we are not accepting that particular threat as subjugation or subdue. We don't accept it. You can't subdue Biafra people. And that's what you people, many of you don't like. Today, in Enugu, a repentant Boko Haram who was recruited into Nigeria military lynched a woman in the barrack. Of course, they will come to deny as usual. You think they will come and accept it before? You think that the Nigeria terrorist organization called Army will come and say, oh, we did, yes, we are investigating it. The guy, he was a Boko Haram and he killed the woman. No, they will deny up to the last minute. Even in the Okoma community, when they went there to attack the community, burn the community down, did they not come to deny it? They were the ones sharing the video to prove what brutality they have meted to the people of Okoma community. When the heat get too hot, they deny it. They deleted the post they made. So who doesn't know Nigeria Army as a terrorist organization? It means that you don't know history of Nigeria. Biafra has come. And this year, the declaration of Biafra is happening. After that, we will have the right to do anything as a government. Believe me, after this year, it can never remain the same. So let them escalate whatever they are doing in the Middle East so that the eye of the world will be out of Nigeria. I will be here to also answer questions to those who may have some relevant question pertaining the security threat on Israel in Nigeria, and of course, the proposal for the Biafra government to provide 15,000 men whenever the time is right for the ground troop if Israel need it. Thank you. The media team, you can take charge from here. Thank you.
Thank you, Ebu PM. Minister of Information, please come up. Mazisani.
Yes, they will Mochineke, they will Prime Minister. What a good leader will do in time of war is to give hope and assurance to the people. That is what you've just done. And the Biafran people are very happy to have you as their Prime Minister because you have just done what a leader is supposed to have done. Biafran stands with Israel from now till eternity. Yes, my minister, Vam, we are here again. Over to you, please.
Okay, thank you very much, Mazisani Akbarawa, Ebu Minister of Information. Greetings to our Obato Bie Atakata Abosia, our numero uno of Biafra land, Prime Minister, His Excellency Mazi Simon Ekpa. We appreciate you, Mazi. And fellow Biafrans and friends of Biafra and the media and journalists that are watching right now, please, we're going to be bringing you in. As I bring you in, please do not hesitate to raise your hands and bring very relevant questions to the Prime Minister as regarding the topic we have here. And immediately you are going to get answers. And please note that you have just 60 seconds to do that, as we have almost 1,000 people, close to 1,000 people watching right now and participating in this space. Please, as you're coming in and you have a very relevant question as to what is happening right now and how we are related to this, please bring your question up and you have 60 seconds to do that. We already have people in the room, and let me quickly start with Ifeanyi Madumere. Ifeanyi Madumere, even though your hand is not up, I just pick you, and while I wait for others to raise their hand, you have 60 seconds. If you have a question, please go ahead and bring it.
Yeah, I greet everyone. Good morning, good afternoon. Honorable PM, I greet you. My question is this. It goes to our leader, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Is there any mechanism too in securing that facility, that arena where he's been held, should in case if any of these interior plans is also geared towards that environment? That's my question. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Any issue about our leaders' detention is something very sensitive at this point, and for that reason, I will not address it. But let me tell you, Biafrans are ready to secure him and rescue him from that place. He was the one, and he's still the one delaying us. Thank you.
I'm sure you got that. That last, the answer he gave you, which you should also begin to ponder upon. And we move. Thank you, Ifeanyi. Please quickly bring your question, Rage and Fury. Please, you have 60 seconds to do that.
All right, thank you very much, my people. Greetings. My name is Regent Fury. I'm a proud local Biafran. And first, before I ask my question, I want to say a very big thank you to the Biafra Agbadaguru. That is the Biafra Thunder that strikes the zoo from all corners, you understand? Thank you very much, sir, for the great work you are doing for us. On behalf of all the Soko and Urubu Biafra, I want to say we are pleased with what you are doing for us, and we are totally behind you. Thank you very much. My question is this. Is US aware that Nigeria is funding Hamas? And how does the US see Hamas? Do they see them as terrorist organization or what? And if US is aware that Nigeria is funding Hamas, why US is funding Nigeria? Because we see the evidence when they supply their weapons to Nigeria to come and kill us in Biafra, and our army neutralize them and seize those weapons. So those are my questions, my Prime Minister. I don't know if you can answer. Thank you.
Thank you very much. US is aware of everything. Everything. Are you surprised? Is it not the same US that has sent almost how many $1 billion to Iran? Are you not aware of that? The same Iran is now attacking Israel. The same America turn around, want to stop Iran. That is where I made a tweet in the afternoon. If you go there, you will see America is funding the people that turn around to kill them, their own citizens, or that will kill their own citizens. That's what is going on. And this is being spearheaded by Obama. When Biden was coming to power, we warned that he is not going to be the president of America. That is going to be somebody like Obama that will be behind the scene. And every policy you see today is the policy of Obama, pro-Islamic State. First, I want to share a story of how ISIS was created. Many of you do not know how ISIS was created. ISIS was created from the war in Syria. Now, let us go back to the time of Gaddafi in Libya. What happened to Gaddafi? America funded, under Obama, funded the rebels in Libya to remove Gaddafi from power. America under Obama, pumped weapons to North Africa. They were supervising it. They were blockade. They closed the airspace. They declared no-fly zone. And they were using the Mediterranean Sea, shielding these rebels who they don't know who they are. But you know, the people funding them knows who they are. But the average American Average European do not know who they are. They funded people they know nothing about. What happened? They succeeded in killing Gaddafi. After they killed Gaddafi, what happened? The entire weapon was moved to the Sahel region of Africa. From Sahel region, they moved it to the West African, to Nigeria. Boko Haram began to use the weapons that America supplied to rebels in Libya. So the war was not actually about Libya. It was about the destabilization of North Africa, which will further give birth to what you see today, Boko Haram weapons everywhere. That is one. Has Obama apologized to Africa for that? Are you going to compare the time of Gaddafi and now? The answer is no. So what is the essence of arming rebels in Libya? Now, can you just answer me? Can somebody explain the reason for funding army rebels to kill Gaddafi in Libya? It is to destabilize Africa. That is number one. Number two, when the war of Syria started, before the war of Syria started, it is the same thing they did in Libya that they wanted to do in Syria. They funded and armed rebels in Syria. They said, oh, we are not going to go, our ground troop will not go there. So who are you funding? Who are you giving arms to? They don't know. But some of them know who they are. It was from there. Those people that supplied arms to Obama, supplied arms to Syria, splitted into three. One of them became the ICC today. The other two engaged the Syria, engaged the NATO. The other one fought alongside with Assad, the Syrian government, and Russia came to help them. As that was going on, Turkey was buying oil from the ISIS. One of them who controlled the oil in Syria. And Russia was not happy with that. Several times, if you all can remember when aeroplane was shut down, and Russia accused Turkey of buying the gas from ISIS in order to fund them. This was going on. Everybody, those who were interested in reading what is going on, know what I'm talking about. That was how ISIS came on board, using America's arms supplied by Obama. So Donald Trump came. Many of us who understood what is going on and how Donald Trump can stop this nonsense, we supported Donald Trump. We supported Donald Trump because he was the right man then. But many people was calling Donald Trump a racist. He hated blacks. We saw beyond that. We saw beyond a man who was just abusing blacks. It was not just about abuse. We saw something beyond abusing blacks. And by the way, was there anything he said about black that were not true? Is there anything he said about Nigerian criminals that were not true? Is it that Nigeria is a shithole? Is it a lie? Or is it because it was coming from him? So, nobody can come out and say what Trump said was a lie. But why was a white man saying it? Why is it was a white man who said it? That was the problem. And that is the hypocrites, political correctness that we see ourselves today. It has destroyed the human dignity, the morality we have as a people. You are saying it. You are wrong. You are the wrong person to say it. We supported Donald Trump because of that. And when he came on board, what happened? ISIS disappeared. Donald Trump dealt with them. And Obama policy, Obama structure for the Islamization was truncated by the policy of Trump. Many people don't. This I'm telling you today Please go back and reflect and see what I'm telling you. Everything was truncated by Donald Trump foreign policy. ISIS was wiped away. From Iraq to Afghanistan, Taliban, to Syria, everywhere was calm. And then they use media to destroy Donald Trump, just like they are trying to destroy me. They use media. Every media was against Donald Trump. They tell you he's sick, he's too flamboyant. Is it sickness? Is this flamboyant we are talking about? We are talking about the foreign policy that have restored peace globally. He went far as even talking to the North Korea. He visited there. There was a process of restoring peace globally. And then Obama and their multinational corporation came back again and started campaigning for Joe Biden. We warned the Americans. They say it was not our business. What's our business in American politics? We warned them. As is what is to come today, all of them are crying. All of them are crying for Donald Trump. All of them are crying that Joe Biden is this and that. That is exactly what is going on today. Joe Biden administration funded Iran up to $6 billion or more than $6 billion. The same Iran is attacking Israel. The same America is defending Israel against Iran. What does that tell you? So if you ask a question about how America is funding Nigeria, it is kind of funny. Because these are people who have ulterior motive that only them know. And like I said, there is somebody behind the scene, and the person is Obama. Obama is Biden, Biden is Obama. So the question of what they do and give money or aid to these countries is just for formality. They turn around, use that money to fund the attack against the American people. And that is exactly what is happening in Nigeria today. The same American general came to the Sahel region. He was making comment about Boko Haram, Al-Qaeda, ISWAP, that it is only in Nigeria that have been able to work together. And what they are looking for is to make Nigeria a safe haven so they can now begin to attack the West and America. And he said they are very sure that this is what they want to do, but they don't know when this particular attack is going to start. The same America today can watch how Hamas came to Nigeria, and a platform was given to the leader of Hamas, and the land has been allocated to them in the northern Nigeria to mine Californium to raise money to fight against Israel. The same America is watching Biafra, see how Biafra is going to do. Instead of them to arm us, we are not Islamic rebels. But you see, because we carry Bible like them, they will not arm us. Because we are peaceful like them, they will not arm us. They rather arm Taliban. They rather arm terrorists in Libya. They will arm rebel terrorists in Syria. But when it comes to Christians, they will never arm you. So what are they trying to let you know? They are trying to let you know that you must be radical before you can get the attention of the world. Go and ponder on what I have just said today. Have you seen them arming all Islamic rebels around the world? But when it comes to Christian rebels, if they call us rebels, because that's what they call us. When it comes to Christian separatists, they will let you to suffer. They will allow you to kill yourself for 30 years, like they did in Sudan. In Sudan, North and South Sudan, 30 years of fight before they now say, come and have your freedom. But when it comes to Islamic rebels, you will see America funding them. They did it to Taliban. Everybody knows the history of Taliban. It was to use Taliban to fight Russia. It failed. They have done it to Libya. It failed. They did it to Syria. It failed. But when it comes to Christians, us, we are Christians. We believe the same faith with America. We have the same constitution with America. We believe in human dignity with America. They will turn back on us. So, and the person engineering this current America policy is Obama, pro-Islamic state. Thank you.
Please, my Prime Minister, in 30 seconds, please, sir. I don't know if I can speak in 30 seconds.
Go ahead.
From what you just explained, sir, and I realize that America in secret is funding terrorists to take over people's land so that they can form alliance with these terrorists after the terrorists have conquered and take away the resources of the people. That is my understanding. But I want to say to America and Britain that no matter how thick the darkness is, it cannot overshadow the light. The light is the truth. And what makes you a powerful nation is your ability to defend the truth, not the amount of the weapons of war that you have. But if America has chosen under Joe Biden to turn their back against the truth, to turn their back against justice, this will mark the beginning of America and Britain's fall. Thank you very much, my Prime Minister, for the explanation. God bless you, sir.
Fantastic. Thank you very much, Rage and Fury. And I can feel the rage in you there. Thank you very much. We move, and I appreciate our Prime Minister. That was a very detailed explanation, and even the deaf could hear it. That packaged truth that cannot be covered. Thank you so much. And then we'll go very fast, please. 60 seconds to you, Mazi Chine Merem. Please quickly bring your question. 60 seconds.
Okay, good evening, my Prime Minister of Biafra people. We greet you, sir. We are seeing your handwork, and thank you so much for standing up for this wonderful, for our wonderful brothers Israel. And I just want to ask you something, please. Can you please pardon us and tell that people that doesn't know the relationship between Biafra and Israel? Can you please share more light about the relationship between us? Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. As everybody who may, or those who may not understand the relationship between us and Israel, we are the descendant of the Jews, and we are part of the Jews of Africa. A lot of people, a lot of researchers have actually said that Israel came from us, that the Jews came from us, and that we are the original Jews. So there has been a lot of research, and scholar opinion about Biafra, the descendant, the people of the gods. So we are, I would say, the original Jews. And having said that, during the time, even before the Biafra War, the state of Israel participated, although that time they played the double standard of supporting Biafra and at the same time supporting Israel, supporting Nigeria. And I wouldn't blame them because they worked based on the information available to them as at that time. But now, a lot of secret is out. So they wouldn't do that double standard again. During the time of the Biafra-Nigeria war, over 50 Israeli Jewish organizations supported Biafra because they have come to understand that indeed we are the people of God, the descendant of Jews, like you have them in Ethiopia. It is only in Biafra land that Nigeria succeeded in ridiculing the Jews, the Biafra people. But in Ethiopia today, for example, they recognized the Ethiopian Jews. But Nigeria and the Britain worked tirelessly to ridicule us before any person, before any government in the world. They ridiculed us. They told them very bad things about Biafra, and in quest to silence and block whoever that will wish to help Biafra to gain independence from Nigeria. So the war we are fighting is the most difficult, the most complicated, the most difficult task. And our freedom will come like no other freedom in the history of mankind. That's why we understand the complexity of fighting for our freedom to exit Nigeria. So, in a nutshell, the answer to your question, or to address the people, is that we, the Biafra people, are the people of Jews. And we are the descendant of Jews, and we are the black Jews, just like you have them in Ethiopia. And the Ethiopia Jews, for example, were recognized by the Israeli government, and they can travel to Israel without visa. They are treated just like them, one of them in Israel, but not the people of Biafra, because Nigeria and Britain made it possible to block that particular opportunity and possibility. But we are not going to give up. We know that in time to come, we are not going to look for them, they will look for us. Just like today, as this war is going on, we know that now it is just a technological war where the drone is doing its job. They are firing rockets and all that. But the time will come when they are going to need the ground troop. Biafra will offer them 15,000 men. It may even increase, to show that we will never forget our root. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, sir. I'm so happy with your question. Thank you so much. And I'll say, talking about recognizing Jews in Ethiopia. I also want to tell you, sir, in Aguleri, I'm from Anamu, and I was born and brought up in Aguleri. In Aguleri, there is a place called Enugu Aguleri. That Enugu Aguleri is where Eri was buried. If you want to our listeners, go to Genesis chapter 46, verse 16. You will see where Bible mentioned Eri left Egypt. So let me not go far from that place. So every year in Aguleri, we celebrate Eri Day. And in that day, Israel people used to come there. Some dwarf people used to do some rituals. And that place that Eri was buried, there is one tree that have three fruits. That is three trinity. That tree grow up where Eri was buried. Thank you, sir. If you want to investigate, go to Aguleri. You will see it there. Thank you so much, my friend.
Thank you very much. We know the area, and we know the people of God that are, the history is very rich there. But I'm not here to share the history of the Eri kingdom or Eri people in Aguleri and all that. Everybody knows that. But just for the people who don't understand why Biafrans are standing with Israel, we are not actually standing with Israel. We are standing for ourselves, because we and Israel are the same. So it is we were standing with Israel just because we found ourselves in different climes, different country, different zone. So standing with Israel is also standing for ourselves. We can never be wiped away and wiped out of the surface of the earth. Exterminating Israel, annihilating Israel is not the same as annihilating us. Thank you.
Thank you, PM. Thank you, Chinemere. Thank you so much. As you go back to listening, and we bring up national opinion. National opinion, your hand is up. Please, 60 seconds. Bring your question.
All right, greetings everyone. Greetings, Mr. Simon Ekpa. Greetings everyone on this space. I just wanted to ask a little question. This situation on ground has been there for many years, and if you go to Mazen Nnamdi Kanu's profile page, you are going to see that the flag of Israel is hoisted on his timeline. To show you our collaboration and our togetherness with the people of Israel. So these attacks on Israel has come as a huge shock to us. So my question is, what is our defense mechanism right here in Nigeria? Because we are endangered. If you check last 2 weeks, there were reports of movement of the Shiites in Abuja. They were, protesting about the Palestine and the whole distance. So, what is our defense mechanism? What defense mechanisms do you think are in place for Biafrans in case of any impending danger? Because that's just what I wanted to ask.
Of course, the defense mechanism is not what I'm going to share with you. It's an intelligent, a security question. But what I can assure you is that during the time they were killing us whenever there is issue with Israel and Palestine, then we do not have liberation army. We don't have arms to defend ourselves. So there is difference today. That's why you have not seen any record of somebody being killed, Biafran being killed in the north, or their businesses being burned. Because like I said, any day they do it this time around, we will divide Nigeria into two. We'll cut Nigeria, not divide. We'll cut it into two. And those who understand what I mean by cutting into two will understand me. Of course, not to ordinary person in Nigeria, they will not understand. But the military, the terrorist organization called military knows what I mean by cutting Nigeria into two. We will cut it into two to start with. Thank you.
Thank you so much, PM. Thank you, National Opinion. We move. Please make your question very quick and brief. Mazi Chidera Nwa MNK, please bring your question up very quickly.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. Good evening, my PM. I greet you, sir. I want to say a very big thanks to you for coming up, to shed more light on what is happening. I just have a few questions to ask. We know that Biafra remains enviable to other countries, just like you have likely said. We are not going to deny who we are. So what I want to ask is that, what is this? What if this war escalates? How will it contribute towards gearing or redeclaration of Biafra? Will it going to help us in the declaration of Biafra? Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. Of course, everything worketh for good for them that love God. Have that answered your question?
I didn't hear you clearly. It breaks already.
I said, definitely it is going to work for the good of Biafra, for the freedom of Biafra. Like Bible said, everything worketh for good for them that love God. And we are the people that love God. We are the people of God. Thank you. And also to the brother that asked question previously, that Mazen Amdekano had a Israeli flag, that Mazen Amdekano has a Israeli flag on his timeline. Yes, he does. He does have Israeli flag on his timeline, just like myself. If you go to my Twitter, to my X, you will know that the Star of David is there boldly. We're not hiding it. We're not shying away from it, from who we are. And in the Biafra flag today, you have the Star of David boldly in the center of the sun. And so, but when he was kidnapped from Kenya, the people whom were following him, or the people he surrounded himself with, what did they do? They started attacking Israel. That should tell you enough, a lot you need to know. The people whom he was fighting Biafra with, who was praising him when he was in Israel, when he appeared in Israel, they were praising him, praising Israel. Immediately he was captured because they believe they have done it all. That he will never come out again. What did they do? Today, they are supporting Palestine. They are now abusing Israel. The same people are telling you about Biafra. And that is to show to you those who your enemies within yourself. So think about it. Thank you.
Thank you, our Prime Minister, His Excellency Mazi Ekpa Simon and Joko, for the great statement you've made, for the questions and answers you've given to the people. We know that those who are behind the attack, the assault on Israel, but we, the Biafra Republic government in exile, we, the people of Biafra, we are saying we must stand side by side with our distant relatives, Israel. No matter what the zoo government might have in stock, we have seen those they call Hamas in the zoo republic. We have seen the members of ISWAP and the rest of them going across through and through the whole of West Africa, and they abode in Nigeria. To Israel and to the whole world, we are saying your best partnership in West Africa is the Biafrans. We are the ones to support you, because at a time like this, We feel your pain. At a time like this, we are ready to share your pains. And at a time like this, we're ready to fight for you, to support you, and make sure, as our Prime Minister have said, 15 to 20,000 Biafran soldiers will be made available to have as, ground force to the British government. Fellow Biafrans, today is a day for us to start reflecting, because the enemies, they have come close. They have come to our abode. The same attack we are getting in the land of Biafra is the same attack our brothers, our distant relatives in Israel are going through. We all saw the bombings. We saw Iran, a country that is being supported by the Islamic world, a country being supported by America, being funded by America, in a bid to create so-called peace in the Middle East. But suddenly, Iran has turned around to use those funding to attack Israel. To the whole world, what you see happening in Israel is happening every day in the land of Biafra. As we speak today, we have heard our Prime Minister. We are saying, never again. What happened to us, the Biafrans, in 1967 till 1970, we are saying never again. To the whole world, this has been our story. We say Britain was responsible for the mayhem, the atrocities happening in that contraption they called Nigeria. Britain, you are responsible. You have your hands and your fingerprints all over that contraption called Nigeria. We, the Biafrans, we are saying enough is enough. That this year, Biafra must be free. Because we have no more business. We have no more mutual understanding. There is no MOU between us and the other stakeholders in that contraption called Nigeria. We have suffered enough. We have been subjugated enough. We have been killed enough by the caliphate, those who Britain told they were born to rule. I'm talking about the Fulani Caliphate and the Fulani Cabal. Those in the realm of power, those in the realm of authority, those managing and financing the government parastatals of that zoo they called Nigeria. Those who make their so-called stewards, their henchmen, the kingmakers. They are the kingmakers. They are the ones who decide who runs the affairs of that contraption called Nigeria. Those who sent their military, their Fulani Cabal military, to the Biafran land known as Okwama, and also to the Olota community, to kill the people, to destroy the land, to chase the whole community out of their motherland, all in the guise to maintain the free flow of the black gold, what they call the crude oil. To the whole world, this has been our story since the amalgamation of that contraption called Nigeria. We are saying enough is enough. We are sick and tired of being sick and tired. To my Prime Minister, His Excellency Mazi Ekpa Simon Njoku, we are saying this year, we are in full support of the declaration or the redeclaration of Biafra this year. The insult is too much. Our leader, Oyindu Nnamdi Kanu, you heard the story how a man who went to Kenya with a British passport, he went to Kenya on holiday. Because he is a Biafran, the Nigerian Fulani government, they chose to waste millions of dollars accrued from the proceeds of the oil, the Biafran oil. They took those money to bribe some officials in Kenya to kidnap our leader. Where is Britain in all this? That a citizen of Britain, a British citizen who is also a Biafran, he went on holiday in Kenya and an African country, Nigeria, from West Africa, they went to Kenya to kidnap a British citizen since 2021, since the month of June 2021. And Britain is handling these things, that scene incident with the kid gloves. Britain has chose to fall back. Britain has shown a nonchalant approach. And going to almost 3 years now, our leader has been under the captivity of the Nigerian government. To the whole world, we are saying enough is enough. If you think by kidnapping our leader, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, will stop us, the Biafrans, from actualizing Biafra, then today I want you to know you have done the biggest mistakes. That will be the biggest mistake in your political career. All you so-called political juggernauts, all the jobbers who what you focus on, what you put your mind on is the oil proceeds coming from the land of Biafra. You know you dislike us. You know you despise the people of Biafra. You know there is no love in contraption. You know all the tribes, they are against themselves. You know there is no love lost in that contraption. There is tribalism. There is nepotism. There are red tapes all across the whole governmental parastatals to make sure we, the Biafrans, don't have a fair piece of the so-called pie you call in that zoo. Yet, the oil, the resources from the land of Biafra is being treated as a national cake where only the Fulani oligarchs and some Yoruba cronies have piece of those cakes. While the owners, the woman that baked that cake, the woman that has the resource, the ingredients that made that cake, she has no piece of that cake. When the cake is baked, you think about that. That's a very good example of what is happening to we the Biafrans. That underneath the soil of the Biafran, there lays the best gold, second to that of Saudi Arabia. But we the people, we are not allowed to even partake in the policies of how the gold or the crude oil are being managed. We have no say. Britain deliberately told the Fulani Caliphate, the oligarchs, those who were brought to that zoo by Usman Dan Fodio. He told them that they were born to rule. And now they have taken it to a second level by saying it is time to Islamize Nigeria. And once again, Britain, oh Britain, Lord David Cameron, the Foreign Secretary of Britain, he declared that he has spoken with all the Islamic countries of the world. And he included the name of Nigeria as part of the dignitaries and signatories of the Islamic countries. By so doing, Britain, by proxy, declared Nigeria as an Islamic country. And we, the Biafrans, we are saying enough is enough. You will not subjugate our people. You will not steal our resources. You will not take over our land. And now you want to convert we, the Biafrans, to Muslims. We are saying that will be the last thing that will happen to us as a people. Because we have the right, the fundamental human right, to freedom of worship, freedom of religion, and the freedom of association. We are saying enough is enough. You all saw what is happening in the land of Okwama. Military men sent by the caliphate, all because there was a miscommunication, a little disruption of the flow of crude oil. They sent their men to Okwama to take over a community. And in the process till this day, this is now the 5th week and counting. For 5 weeks, those living in Okoma cannot access their communities. Those living in Okoma, they are still in the bushes. Those living in Okoma, they are still not allowed to bury the dead that were killed by the Nigerian Islamic military. And those in Okoma still don't have the so-called independent media of Nigeria to come into the community to have a first-hand information of what happened in that community. Where is this done in the world? Only in Nigeria will elephant fly. A contraption where even the people are not allowed to be treated as citizens of their country. A contraption where there is no rule of law. A contraption where the military men can stop the media, members of the press, who are to be upholding the utmost privilege of exercising their fundamental human right when it comes to the freedom of speech. They are not allowed to go into Okoma to have a first-hand information of what is happening in that community. Even the governor of a state in that zoo is not allowed by the military to access a community from their land. Now you know that Nigeria is not fair. Now you know that Nigeria is not running a democratic system of government. Now you know that the Fulani Caliphate, they are the ones ruling Nigeria by proxy. Now you know that the Biafrans, we are not free in that contraption. My fellow Biafrans, today I am calling upon you to keep your head up. We have heard about the sufferings you're going through. We have heard your cry. We have heard your sorrows, your pain. And we are glad that the Prime Minister of the Biafra Republic government in exile and his cabinet members, they have risen up to the occasion. And they have declared that this year, we must, oh Lord have mercy, we must redeclare the restoration of Biafra. For those who are yet to vote, what are you waiting for? That's the question. For the Biafrans who are yet to vote, my question to you is, what are you waiting for? Why do you still have the thinking of the Zoo Republic? Why do you still have the behavior, the attitude of the Caliphate? If you want a new Biafra where there is rule of law, where things are done the right way, why are you still holding the bad habits of trying to wait till the 11th hour before you start going around to vote and carry out your civic duties for the government of Biafra? You should be ashamed of yourself if you are still one of those trying to be non-aligned, one of those doubting Thomases, trying to wait, delay what you're supposed to do, and trying to wait till the 11th hour. We started these votings from the 1st of February, I believe. We are now in April. We are in the mid of April, and the first phase of the voting ends in May. So why, in the name of God, are you still waiting to do the voting? At the end of this broadcast, I want you to go to the description of this video. You will see the guide on how to vote. Let today be the last day that in my broadcast somebody will be asking me in the comment section of a link or how they can go about voting. Finally, I want to speak to the government of Nigeria. We are telling the man put in office by the caliphate, we are telling Tinubu to wash his hands of the case of Nnamdi Kanu. Tinubu, it is time for you to do what is right. Wash your hands of the case of Nnamdi Kanu, because we are getting at the point where if we don't know where you stand, we may start addressing you as the one responsible. We may have to start addressing you as the one responsible for the continuous kidnap of our leader, because to us, he has no business being in Nigeria. He was kidnapped from Kenya, and for the fact he's still being held in your DSS illegally, we may have to hold your government responsible. Even though we know you are being controlled by the Fulani Caliphate, we may have to hold you and your government responsible. Enough is enough. This nonsense, this childish nonsense has to end. What is good for the goose is good for the gander. If it was good for you to release your brother who we love, Chief Sunday Igboho, you released your brother. He went to Germany. He came back to Nigeria to bury his beloved mom. May her soul rest in peace. But if it was good for you to release your brother, Chief Sunday Igboho, then it is good to release Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. If you had that power to release Chief Sunday Igboho, then you should have the same power to release Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. What is good for the goose is good for the gander. If it was good for Chief Sunday Igboho, then it should be good for Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Do not delay this. Do not dilly-dally on this, because this is something that we hold dearly. Nnamdi Kanu is a treasure to the Biafran people. And the more you delay holding him, the more you dilly-dally in the affairs of Nnamdi Kanu, the more the enemy may have the opportunity to use you. Remember what they did to Chief M.Q. Abiola. You were part of the so-called Nadeko members. You were part of them. You saw what they did to Chief M.Q. Abiola. The delay of leaving M.Q. Abiola in prison led to the caliphate poisoning him. I'm holding you responsible. We are going to hold you to account. Nothing must happen to Nnamdi Kanu. Release him now while you can. Release our leader, Nnamdi Kanu, while you can, because you will be held responsible. I have told you to wash your hands off like the Pontius Pilate. The Biafran government, we have told you, even the legal team of Nnamdi Kanu, they have told you to wash your hands off. But you keep on dilly-dallying, pretending as if it's not you that is responsible. But if you could release your own brother, Chief Sunday Igboho, and Showore. Showore is in America now, enjoying with his family. Showore is in America, having a good time with his family. Chief Sunday Igboho, a man we love so much, a man we appreciate, but I'm here to speak to power. I am here to call a spade a spade. If it is good for you to release Chief Sunday Igboho, it should be good for you to release Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Tomorrow is a D-Day for the appeal, court case for our leader, Nnamdi Kanu. I'm speaking on this to let you know that you should know that whatever the outcome tomorrow, it will be held on your government. It's on you. It is on you now, because we cannot blame Buhari anymore. If you cannot release Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, come outside and tell us now. Let the whole world know. Those holding Nnamdi Kanu, if you say you don't have the power to release him, let the whole world know who is responsible. Because to us, it is the government of Nigeria. You are responsible. You are responsible. I rest my case. From me, from here, for now, I want to say good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. I remain yours truly, Biafra, Superstars Media. God bless you. Yeah, check me out. Superstars Media. Lord Lugard, Bloomington, Lord Lugard, Hannes Wild Flora Show, 1914 amalgamation is what we dying for. 3 nations to 1 nation, ever since annihilation. Nepotism is nonsense. You and you, clap your hands. Biafra gonna come, clap your hands. Biafra, Oduduwa, we're free now. Freedom is gonna come, we're free now. Yeah.